Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? Now, I know that you guys have probably seen the beef or the back and forth with this whole Raymonte individual, Cardi B, and then Ice Spice, and then the fandoms are going back and forth. So I'm here, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a couple of videos, but y'all ain't see it the way I'm finna do it, okay? I'm about to break it down on what really is going on, what's the issue, what's the problem, blah, 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 right? Okay, now the beginning stages, I saw this like amazing TikTok that did a little breakdown of the beginning stages. I want to get into the mess part of it because that's the part that I want to talk about. How Big Buddy got involved, how Raymonte said this. Like, I really want to break that down. Okay, so the beginning stages about how Raymonte having issues with Essence, that's the part that I'm gonna show y'all the clip, and so that gets explained because I don't want to misspeak on that situation and how he feels about Essence and all of that, and then I'm gonna do my breakdown. So I'm gonna show y'all a little clip of the whole Essence situation so y'all know what's up, and then we're gonna get into some things.
I believe this all started from the Essence article that came out earlier today. So basically, an intern at Essence that is probably now fired published an article basically stating how Raymonte has all this impact and they don't understand why he doesn't have the support or why brands are not supporting him. Basically just using his name as clickbait instead of being a fucking solution to the problem as a black publication. So Raymonte clocked them as he should have, 10 out of 10, ate it up. And then that was that. So I guess in response to him clocking Essence, a lot of people wrote him and were like, well, you're not marketable because you're ghetto, X, Y, Z, or whatever. And I guess he made a response video basically stating how he doesn't feel like he's ghetto and how he feels like it's okay for Cardi B to be ghetto and not be deemed ghetto. But when it's somebody that's black, everyone has a problem with it.
So I wasn't going to talk about this anymore because it was like, y'all know I don't like to drag things out. But the videos y'all keep saying, I'm ghetto and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it throws me off because none of my videos am I walking up to people selling them empty. They purse, give me everything you got. I don't think I'm as ghetto as everyone tries to make it seem. And what bothers me as a black person, you guys say that I'm ghetto, but Cardi B, who doesn't look like a visible black woman to me, and this is no shade to you, Cardi B. This is no shade. This is just literally a fact. And we're speaking on colorism and all those type of things. She is very, very ghetto. She's way ghettoer than me. She's way hooder, gangster, greasy with me. She was outside with the damn Bloods. And y'all don't say that this lady is ghetto. Y'all don't say that she isn't marketable. It feels like everyone can be ghetto and black besides ghetto and black people. And again, no shade to you, Cardi B. I'm just doing a comparison. My content has always been uplifting women. I've always said so many things about women, like to encourage them and be amazing. And I might make a little joke about a relationship or a boy or something like that. And I might say bitch, but that don't make me a fucking gangster thug psycho, man. I literally don't get that. I have so much positive content that I don't even say a cuss word in. That is so uplifting with so many people, so many diverse groups, ethnicities. So what do y'all want to put me in this ghetto sad black trope for? I am from the hood. Yes, I am. But I have layers to me. I can have a deep, articulate conversation with you. Stop criticizing me. Another thing, I have always been an advocate for higher education. I have always sent people in college money for food. I tell people to stay in school, get your degree. I talk to people with their 9 to 5 and say how people with 9 to 5s push the world. I talk about body positivity, all type of things. So what do y'all be wanting to make it seem like all I say is shake your ass, and turn on the damn sheep teeth? Because I don't.
And that's kind of where he lost me, not going to lie. Because for one, I don't understand why he used her as a comparison because Cardi has been called ghetto her entire career, for one. For two, I feel like there was a better example that could have been used, like someone that's in the same realm of what you do. The second thing being, he kind of just did the same thing that he claimed Essence did to him, which is using someone else's name unrelated to the point that was being initially made. I also don't understand how colorism came into the conversation when the initial conversation was not about colorism. The initial conversation was about you not being marketable and you being ghetto.
Now, a fan saw this and said, this honestly has me weak with the Cardi B comparisons because people been bashing Cardi B years ago, always calling her ghetto. Just say you don't like Cardi and go stop saying her name, right? And then Cardi had responded to this. Cardi says, it's crazy because when I became famous, people said I'm ghetto, talk ish about my accent, called me dumb because the way I speak, say I got no couth, talk about my teeth, my braids, my 2 buns, And to this day, no matter what I accomplish, I still get called a stripper. All because I'm from the ghetto. People misinterpret me because apparently I'm loud and ghetto. Till this day, call me hood rat and all. When I sat down with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, they called me a ghetto stripper. Why is it that y'all gotta use me to make y'all comparisons? Cause y'all only see the glory, but not when I get dragged 24/7. Leave me the F alone and out of your BS, right? Your bullish, she said. He responds back, he says, girl, why are you getting so mad at the comparisons? I'm saying you are successful and reach heights that visibly black people, ghetto people have a hard time reaching. That act just like you. I'm not saying you don't deserve success and how you act is bad. I'm saying that if someone that was my color or darker acts the same way, we will never receive the same rewards or love. You're being very dense. Sukiana, Sexy Red, the City Girls, the list goes on. You've had major campaigns that ghetto black women and men like me will never get. It's deeper conversation. I'm not trying to offend you at all. To not think you have it easier to be seen as marketable because you're lighter is crazy. Cardi responds, she says, that's not what you said. You said nobody called me ghetto and now you're moving the goalpost. You know why I'm at where I'm at right now? Because I took all those no's and recognized what I had to change. I had to change the way I talk, the way I act, the way I respond, and how I present myself. You ignore all of that and playing the color card because you don't like me and it's effed up. You using all these other women. Sexy Red is making bangers and on tour with Drake, and I bet money she's gonna win Female Rapper of the Year because she's grinding and working hard and not letting people call her ghetto distract her from the top. So miss me with that. He responds back, he says, who doesn't like you when you're on the TL, meaning timeline, saying you didn't want to be here? I sent you something very heartfelt and we had an amazing exchange and I thought we were good. You think I don't like you because like another woman, and that's not the case at all. This isn't no stand-ish. So I guess the other woman that he's referring to as saying that he likes is Nicki Minaj. He's saying that, well, me liking her does not mean I don't like you. When you were saying that you did not want to be here, I sent you a personalized letter, and this isn't like any stand-ish, right? And that's what he's saying. I have a clip of Cardi speaking about, when he got in the inbox or the messages and everything. I'm gonna insert that right here, and then we're gonna go back to the back and forth with these texts. Okay, so hold on.
And I really did feel really nice, and I felt very genuine when he hit me up on DM saying like, yo, I be feeling bad because I do be feeling like people be dragging you a lot, and please don't let people overwhelm you and make you want to commit suicide. You're that bitch. Like, it's like when he hit me up on DM and said that, after we had a whole argument a couple of months ago about something dumb, that shit really meant a lot to me because I was in a very vulnerable state. And like right now, I feel like I'm in a vulnerable space, but I'm a little bit stronger. So it's like, damn, if you know that people drag me about this topic all the time, why did you bring me up as collateral to prove your point?
Cardi says, are we on the timeline or the DMs? We were talking in DMs and now you're back on the timeline. You can't gaslight me, and I won't let you confuse people by bringing up things that are irrelevant to the initial discussion. You say people never called me ghetto. I responded showing how I've always been called ghetto, and now you're bringing up stand-ish. It's none of that. I'm just sick of people being comfortable with race baiting when it comes to me. She continues, she says, and it's plenty of men you could have compared yourself to, but you got it. Raymonte says, You saying I'm using other women when me and you had our talk months ago. You said, why don't I call Ice Spice a Mexican? You bring up other people, not me. I'm not bringing in any other woman in this. I think y'all are all great. It's wasn't to offend or hurt you in any shape or form. Now, mind you, he has brought up Nicki Minaj, and now he's bringing up Ice Spice. He's saying that, oh, because he's a fan of Nicki Minaj, he feels as though that's why Cardi was responding to him, or why Cardi feels a certain type of way about him. And now he's bringing up Ice Spice. Take heed to this, right? Cardi responds. Cardi says, same reason why you felt comfortable calling me a Mexican when I'm Dominican. And I asked you why you feel comfortable calling me a Mexican when Ice and Jarrell, Jerome, Zoe, Zaldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that to them. You do it to me because you know that's what people use to hurt me. A lot of Nicki Minaj fans call Cardi a Mexican. They'll say dirty on top of that in order to offend her. She continues and she says, same way you use my name in the video, knowing exactly what you doing. And Ice Spice decided to insert herself in the conversation, the back and forth, because, her name was indeed being mentioned. Raymonte had mentioned her, and said that he and Cardi B had been talking about her nationality, or her being Mexican, and him calling her a Mexican. And, she brought up Ice Spice to say, hey, Ice Spice is also Dominican. How come you don't call her a Mexican, So Ice Spice got wind of this and decided to chime in. And she said, no offense, Barty, is because I have a Dominican parent and a black one. This is her defense, saying that, one of my parents is Dominican and the other one is black, right? And I'm going to, I'm just going to give you guys a little background information and then get back to, the back and forth, them doing the whole Twitter thing. I want to break down Dominicans and just different things of that so y'all understand. So what country has the most black Hispanics, or like has, African American Hispanic, people of color who happen to be Hispanic, right? And this is, Afro-Latinas, right? So Afro-Latinas tend to reside in coastal areas, although in many countries they have migrated to larger cities in search of employment. So Afro-Latinas constitute a majority of the population in Cuba and the Dominican Republic, in Brazil, Colombia, Panama, Venezuela. It goes on and it goes on. So I'm saying this to say that there is a such thing as Afro-Latinas, and Cubans and Dominicans, like a lot of them exist there. So those, it is a thing for somebody to be Afro-Latina. It's a thing for a black person or person of color to be Latina, to be like from Cuba, or like from the Dominican Republic. It is a thing. So when people say that, Dominicans are not black, it's kind of weird, because they are, there are, like, they're literally, they have some black Hispanics just from skin tones in general, but like people from the Dominican Republic, like, the yeah, definitely black. So I don't know where people, like, I guess if you're not visibly black, like if they don't see your skin as being brown, all of a sudden you're not black. But they have a lot of light skinned people that are black and African American. I think about, like, I'm just saying, they have people. I'm not even gonna go into names and different things, because I was gonna bring up Juju from Love and Hip Hop. She's Hispanic. She's like, not like, she has Hispanic, like she's from, she's Hispanic. She speaks Spanish. She's all of that, and she is an Afro-Latina. Trina talks about her being an Afro-Latina. So they have those African American, individuals that happen to be Afro-Latina as well. So that exists. Cardi, and when you see Cardi's hair, like texture and everything, and she's just lighter skin, but she's definitely, would qualify as a Afro-Latina. Now, what is considered to be Hispanic? Hispanic or Latino origin includes people of Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, cultural, South America, Dominican, and other like unknown Latina Americans, Spanish origin, like or Spanish or origin. It goes. So I want to almost say that People of Hispanic origin may be any race. So it's not like exclusively like Hispanics are only like if you're Mexican then you're this is the only form of Hispanic that they have. I've seen a lot of crazy tweets and all of that. I wanted to put this up here. Y'all, once again, I apologize every time I have to read to you guys because child, I almost read like I'm in the third grade. I promise you. But I want to say that I understand what I'm reading. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can read, but I'm just, sometimes my reading is not the best. And y'all, I don't know, expect like, I don't know, like college degree reading, you know what I'm saying? And I have a college degree, but I'm just saying y'all expect a certain level of reading and sometimes I'm not up to some people's part. So I want to give a disclaimer and say I do the best that I can. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, you're definitely welcome to exclude yourself out of this video so that way it doesn't further, offend you. But I'm doing the best I can. But I just want to say that Hispanics are not just exclusively Mexicans, they like come from different areas and they're still considered Hispanics. I just want to put that out there. And if you don't care about what I'm saying out of my mouth, you can read what's on the screen and hopefully that helps you. But let's get back to the back and forth between, Cardi, Raymonte, and everybody. Let's keep going. Raymonte says, all I was trying to say is that her being ghetto or getting called ghetto doesn't hinder her career. Essence wrote an article and asked why was my verbal birthday trip not sponsored by any brands, and y'all said it was because I'm ghetto and not marketable, or I'm giving an example of another person who is ghetto that has reached a high level of success. It didn't hinder her, so why should it hinder me? That's all. He continues, he says, didn't mean to offend her or get her dragged. I used her as an example because her ghetto ratchetness is what helped propelled her career. It was called being relatable. This is not no stand Twitter ish. This is real life politics within the Black community and entertainment industry. I'm confused on why I'm getting so much hate. Cardi responds back. She says, here's my advice to you, Raymonte. It takes time. Right now, I get brand deals for over 5 million for a campaign. I got social media famous in 2014. My first brand deal from Fashion Nova was in 2016 and 200 a post. You could reach any height no matter how ghetto or where you come from. Just remember the key is to be patient and be humble. Blessings. And then Raymonte had responded. He says, thank you. Wish we could have started off like this. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is the back and forth between Raymonte and Cardi, right? Raymonte responds. He said, I generally thought you were a Latino woman from Minnesota. We don't have Dominicans and afro-latina. Why does being mistaken as a Latina hurt? I love Mexicans. It's not a slur or attack. Being Mexican isn't a dig. Being Mexican isn't a dig is what he said. Mexicans are not the only Latinas. I guess that's what I'm trying to. He keeps saying that being Mexican, being Latinas or like Afro, like I just want to say that being Mexican isn't the only Latin, you know what I'm saying? They have, like, I already went through the breakdown with you. So when he says that, well, why is that offensive? Like, it's just tying it all under one umbrella when it's a big conversation. But people are calling Raymonte out because they're saying that he got into it with somebody. And this, like, I'm not going to put all of that in here, but the DMs was crazy, okay? He and this guy was going back and forth. This guy was calling him all type of N-words with the heavy ER. They were going back and forth. It was disgusting. It was like just back and forth, right? But Raymonte called this person a dirty Mexican within the messages. So people are saying that, hey, you're saying that you don't consider this a racial slur but you used it when you were into it with somebody. So you can't say that, hey, you wouldn't see that as a dig, but then use it as a dig when you're into it with somebody. And this person was, very disgusting and probably deserved the back and forth. I don't know their situation. I don't know the breakdown of that situation. However, he did use, the Mexican term as a way to put somebody down in a conversation. You could have called that guy anything, could have called him a couple of B B words or whatever, but you decided to call him a Mexican, proving that you do use that term to degrade individuals, and it's very offensive. You don't just pick that up in one day. So if you're saying, oh, it's not a bad thing, then why do you use it to do the back and forth with somebody or argue with somebody? That's what a lot of individuals are saying. Like, okay, but you're gonna sit over here and act like, oh my God, I don't know, like it's not offensive to me, but you use it to attack someone or use it as a response to somebody who may be of Latino or Hispanic, like that you deem that, and then you use that term to bring somebody down, to talk bad about somebody. So in one breath, it's not to be taking or in any way harm or be offensive, but you used it in order to take shots at somebody. You could have used anything. This person was being nasty to you. Why use that specific term on that individual and then use that same term to bring down Cardi? Is given that I use that term to take shots at people that are mixed or Hispanic or whatever, and I use that term to bring them down. Now, moving on to Ice Spice and Cardi. Now, Cardi decided to respond to Ice Spice. Cardi says that I think there might be some confusion on what was said. I asked why he feels so comfortable calling me Mexican. I have no Mexican parents. My mom is Trini. She came out of a whole black woman. My father is Dominican. I'm Dominican just like you. I also use other Dominicans as an example because, as you should know, a lot of the times we get clustered into one because of the language. Also, can you send me that picture you took of me with your camera from Vanity Fair? Thank you. So Cardi's basically hammering down on her point, saying, hey, there's some confusion, Ice. I'm saying that I'm like, my parents, like, we basically have the same kind of mixture. So why then is one, a Mexican and the other isn't? And I think she explained that very well. And she also brought light that Ice Spice, with her phone, did take pictures of her and Cardi. Now, Ice Spice is supposed to be a huge Nicki Minaj fan. She's supposed to be the princess. Nicki had coined her the princess of rap. So to see her with Cardi, a lot of people are confused, just because normally when people are posted up with Cardi or doing a song with Cardi or anything of that nature, it normally shows that they have picked a side, because with this whole rap Avengers, aka what's his name, academics coined it, the rap Avengers. There's one side and then there's the other side. So they don't have people that can exist in the middle or either on both sides. You have to be on one side or the other, allegedly, with this rap stuff. So the girls normally pick a side. So Ice Spice taking a picture with Cardi B, it almost implicates that she somehow likes Cardi B or she's a fan of Cardi B, especially when she's the one that took the picture. She had somebody take it with her phone. So the fact that she had that picture, and she just posted it up right when Cardi said what she said, it implicates like, hey, okay, so that you're a huge, like, Nicki co-signed you, gave you a look, and now you're here with Cardi. Like, it's giving mixy. Everything that people said early on that Megan Thee Stallion allegedly was, they're saying that, hey, Ice Spice, you're giving mixy, because you're in one breath, shading, you're shading Cardi every time you link up with Nicki, and there's little subs being thrown, but then now you're taking pictures, asking your cameraman to take pictures of you and Cardi basically exposed her as a fangirl. So don't try to act like, throwing that little jab or try to be shady towards Cardi when you're literally a fan. Like, you love her. Come on now, you're really in the DMs. It really adds extra hype to that new song that I absolutely love, by the way. Enough. For real, this is enough, okay? They were just in my DMs. Ain't no trust in these. Like, come on. What's going on, Ice? And you guys, I'm not even going to get into my opinions about Ice Spice, because, Ice Spice early on when she came into this game, she was very much so giving I love Cardi, but in order to get that Nicki Minaj cosign, she started kind of throwing some weird energy towards Cardi way that I necessarily did not like nor appreciated, and a lot of people didn't appreciate either. We just felt like if you like one or the other, speak your mind, say how you feel about it, and then just leave it as that. They say that somebody in the comments said a a friend to all is a friend to none, you know? So people feel like, hey, you have to pick a side. And Ice Spice is probably saying that she doesn't want to pick a side. I don't know. I showed you guys a while ago how Armand had said that, you know, Nicki and Ice Spice were not friends anymore, and a lot of people were throwing things online and saying that, you know, they're not friends anymore. So allegedly they aren't friends, and it adds a lot of validity to his story. If you guys don't remember his story, I'm going to insert it here so you guys can hear what he allegedly said.
Allegedly at the Barbie World video shoot, Nicki Minaj cussed out Ice Spice and cussed out her team. Now they were saying that Ice Spice was in the corner nervous, scared, spooked and nervous. They said Nicki Minaj went slapped the fuck off on set. Didn't want to film with her, didn't want to be in scenes with her, was going off. Carried on Ice Spice. And the team, Ice Spice was just kind of like gagging, you know, and just trying to be cool, but Nicki was not having it. I don't know exactly what happened. But something happened on that set where Nicki was not happy and she went slapped off on Ice Spice and her team, and it was a nasty rant. And she was giving like, keep this girl the fuck away from me. I don't fuck this, like all of that, allegedly. And so they weren't speaking for a while during that time. Then gradually they kind of came back because Ice Spice was a little nervous, but then the Nicki went off, and you know they've kind of been in and out with each other. But I don't think that the relationship is really as tight as it was in the beginning. They slowly had but surely fell out, and I do hear that it was because of the management team, and Ice Spice, you know, essentially is going to follow the guidance of her management. So Nicki started to see that Ice Spice was a little bit shifty and will do anything for a moment. And you know, here's the thing. You know, once Nicki sees that you're trying to get in her lane, you are out the way because now you're competition.
Wow, so it really makes you think, right? So I saw this and this kind of had me thinking as well. So somebody said that, I'm sorry, but ain't no way y'all still acting like this over a picture. And Khalil, which is a big, you know, Nicki fan, and he said, y'all keep purposely missing the point, laugh my ass off. But it's no way y'all mad about who people don't F with. This person says, what's the point then? Hollywood Media said, what's the point then? And then Khalil says, why didn't she sign to Heavy on it after getting those 2 verses like she was supposed to? What happened to that? She can't keep Nicki's name out her D suckers, like her mouth. Like there's so much love used PD for that EP, but didn't sign that partnership deal. Now, allegedly, this is the issue, right? So Armand alleged that some mess happened with Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj to where it was something with the business that was messing up. Now, the people online are saying it's because that Ice Spice was promising Nicki that after she did, you know, the 2 songs or whatever, you know, she was supposed to sign to Heavy on it. However, she did not sign to Heavy on it. And different people have been saying that, oh, she was dropped from Heavy on it. But the deal is, or the tea is, she never signed to Heavy on it. She was supposed to sign after Nicki did what she was supposed to do. They had sat down, had talked about doing some business together. However, allegedly, all alleged, Ice Spice had reneged on the business that was promised. So that's what Nicki's upset about. Like, hey, you basically pretended like you were not going to be like the rest of them. You got the princess title, got a look, and then used me and didn't do what you said you were going to do. I did my part. I did what I said that I was going to do, my part of the deal, and I trusted you to follow up and do what you were supposed to do. However, you did not do what you were supposed to do. And at the time, I think Nicki felt like, man, you're already established superstar. People love you, already have a fan base. You know what it would do for me to, you know, co-sign or have you on my label. It would definitely like solidify my label label and, make us a real important thing. If I have a big heavy hitter like you on my label, and she agreed to it, like, yeah, I'll do all of that. I'll do everything. Yeah. Like, just saying yes to everything, because she really wanted that look and she really wanted that feature. Nicki's like, oh, is that really what you want? She's like, yep, allegedly, all alleged. That's really what you want? She like, yep. Nicki like, okay, well, I'll do what I gotta do, girl. Let's see what's up. And Nicki did everything that she was gonna do, and Ice Spice ate it up, got everything, got the Taylor Swift look, got everything, and then switched up. She was acting funny with the New Body track when she was, allegedly hopping on New Body, not knowing but knowing. And then she taking pictures with Cardi B. She's been showing her hand as really being like weird or shifty. Maybe Nicki knew this all along, and that's why Nicki has been quiet on her and quietly co-signing JT once again. But she gave her that princess title because, and I knew that, like, Nicki wasn't just gonna give this girl this princess title if she wasn't getting anything, no beneficial, nothing. But of course Nicki was like promised something, like promised that she was gonna be benefiting. The business was discussed with the team and everything. So for them to get everything that they were gonna get and then, backtrack and, what I'm saying, play in her face, I definitely understand Nicki's frustration. I definitely understand her being hurt. I definitely understand where she's coming from. If this is all true, allegedly, because I don't know, of not messing with Ice Spice, but Raymonte throwing Nicki into it and then throwing Ice Spice into it is shifty behavior, because wasn't nobody talking about who you were a fan of. Nobody was talking about Ice Spice. You brought this up. I don't give a damn if you and Cardi had talked about Ice Spice in the DM. The fact that you brought it up publicly gives like, oh, you were trying to embarrass Cardi, and I didn't necessarily like that piece of it. Like, y'all talked in the DM, but you bringing up Ice Spice and bringing up Nicki Minaj, all of that was weird energies. Like, just because I'm a fan of certain people, I'm a fan of, like, it was weird. You brought up other people when she was saying that, hey, don't say that people don't call me ghetto, because I get ghetto all the time. And then the whole colorism, like, it was like two different conversations. It was the color thing, oh, you being a light-skinned Latina or you being lighter skin, in the ghetto conversation. The initial point was speaking about ghetto. You brought Cardi B into it the same way Essence was trying to make a point and brought you into it, and you didn't like that. So then if you didn't like when they did it to you, why would you do it to somebody else? And then get upset when people speak on it and call you out for doing something that you basically got mad at somebody else for doing. Like, if they were wrong for doing it, you're definitely wrong for doing it as well. Don't hate what somebody does and then copy their behavior, because that's weird energy. And also, I think that you bringing up other people, like these other female artists, you knew what you were doing with that. I think he knew what he was doing in this entire situation. I think that the whole Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj is coming to light. The more time goes by, the more Ice Spice shows her hand. However, you have burned too many bridges. Cardi's not, like, Cardi, I don't think she's gonna publicly say she has a problem with you. But I don't think Cardi likes you because of how shifty you were being. I don't think Nicki liked you because you basically slapped her hand when she gave you food, You promised certain things and then you played in her face. So she, you might as well, hopefully you have developed on this ride so much of a fan base riding with Taylor Swift that you gained something, because you got a major look. Nicki gave you a major look. Taylor Swift was messing with you. You were a big thing, So hopefully you have created or gained a good enough fan base that you can still keep that record deal and all of that after going or moving the way in which you're moving, because all the fandoms are looking at you sideways, thinking that you're just weird. Like, everybody's looking, like, Cardi fans don't like you, Nicki fans don't like you. I don't know how Doja Cat fans feel about you, but you're just, seemingly looking like somebody who, doesn't have no loyalty to anybody. And I don't know if that's what Ice Spice wanted to look like, but that's how she's looking to the public. I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much about Ice Spice. I feel like she's getting a lot of drags. I don't think she needs any more, but I'm just telling you guys what's happened. Let me know in the comments what you think about the things that I'm saying, but I love you guys so very much, and bye-bye.
I always get dragged about these topics, and then you try to belittle all the work that I have did. I've been putting in work. I didn't put in work 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I've been putting in work since 2014.